LinkedIn admits it's been using our data to train their AI models. AT&T plans to ditch VMware were revealed in a legal battle with Broadcom. The U.S. is set to propose a ban on Chinese connected vehicles, and an Indian government agency is posting a warning about severe security flaws in a range of Apple software products. Welcome to #Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. LinkedIn's recent agreement to suspend use of UK user data for AI training when required by the Information Commissioner's Office, or ICO, is just another case of how European countries are far more aggressive about protecting the privacy rights of their citizens. It also raises some questions about the extent of data harvesting that has already occurred without user knowledge or explicit consent. The announcement implies that LinkedIn has been using user data for AI training for an undisclosed period before the ICO intervened. Given that revelation, LinkedIn did come clean and posted a notice. If you missed it, we have a copy of the link with the show notes. In fairness to LinkedIn, they did say that this data was collected to help improve their services, which one might believe is a good use of data provided. But they're a little more oblique on how this data could have been used. Gathering it to help serve you better is one thing, but would it be resold to other LinkedIn customers? Does LinkedIn have its own private model, or will our data find itself into one of Microsoft's AI models? Some additional clarity on this would have been helpful. It would also appear that worldwide users have automatically been opted into this data usage, potentially violating privacy regulations, but also clearly violating privacy expectations. What does this mean to all of us? Well, your professional data, including career history, connections, and interactions, may have already been incorporated into AI models without your awareness. Even if you opt out now, it's unclear how you unring the bell. Your data may already be part of existing AI training sets. The full scope of how user data has been utilized in AI models still remains unclear, as does the potential for de-anonymization or misuse of the data. Actions you can take: you can immediately review and adjust your LinkedIn privacy settings, especially the Data Generative AI Improvement option, where you can remove their ability to use your data in the future. You can request a copy of your data from LinkedIn to understand what information they hold. I suppose you could consider submitting a data deletion request, although be aware this may not remove data already used in AI training and not going to do much for your LinkedIn usage in the future. And IT professionals, though, should audit their company's exposure on LinkedIn and other professional networks and develop guidelines for employee use. We've given you the actions that you could consider taking, but the reality is that many of us depend on LinkedIn, and it's difficult to part with participation in a user network like that. But this revelation underscores the critical need for transparency in how tech companies use our data. It's a stark reminder that in the age of AI, our digital footprints may have far-reaching and unexpected consequences. In the ongoing legal dispute between AT&T and Broadcom, court filings revealed that the telecom giant allegedly plans to stop using VMware software. This development adds a new twist to the conflict over support services for VMware products. According to Broadcom's legal response, AT&T has admitted in writing that it intends to migrate away from VMware software, claiming the move would have a very quick payback and a strong internal rate of return. This revelation comes as part of Broadcom's defense against AT&T's lawsuit seeking continued support for perpetual VMware licenses that AT&T bought in the past. The dispute began when AT&T claimed Broadcom refused to honor a pre-acquisition agreement with VMware for extended support services. Broadcom counters that AT&T knew about VMware's transition to a subscription-based model and chose not to purchase the support services it now demands. Broadcom's filing paints a less than flattering picture of AT&T's IT infrastructure, alleging that the telecom company is running outdated VMware software versions, some already unsupported due to AT&T's failure to upgrade. The chipmaker also questions AT&T's claim that VMware is mission-critical, giving the carrier's apparent reluctance to keep the software current. This high-profile case highlights the broader industry trend of moving away from VMware following Broadcom's acquisition. Several major companies, including Geico and John Deere, have already announced plans to adopt alternative platforms. As this legal battle unfolds, it serves as a cautionary tale for enterprises navigating the shifting landscape of enterprise software and support services, especially in the wake of major acquisitions. In a significant policy change, Telegram, the messaging app known for its strong privacy focus, will now provide user IP addresses and phone numbers in response to legal requests. This decision marks a major departure from the app's previous stance on user data protection. Pavel Durov, Telegram's CEO, announced that the platform will begin complying with legal demands for user information. This shift comes as a surprise to many, as Telegram has long been celebrated for its resistance to government requests and takedown orders. Alongside this change, Telegram is ramping up its content moderation efforts. The company is now employing AI and a human moderation team to remove what it deems problematic content from search results. Durov has also called on users to report unsafe and illegal content for removal. The impact of these changes on Telegram's popularity among users engaged in illicit activities remains uncertain. The app still offers several anonymizing features, including disappearing messages and end-to-end encryption. Telegram's FAQ continues to boast that they have never disclosed user messages to third parties, including governments. This policy shift comes in the wake of Durov's arrest in France last month for alleged crimes committed on Telegram, charges which he denies. As messaging apps grapple with the balance between user privacy and legal compliance, Telegram's decision could signal a broader trend in the industry. Tech professionals and privacy advocates will be watching closely to see how this policy is implemented and its effects on user trust and platform security. According to a report in Reuters, the U.S. Commerce Department plans to propose a ban on Chinese software and hardware in connected and autonomous vehicles on American roads. We've done stories on the amount of data that's collected by American car manufacturers and how that data may have been sold to data brokers or other companies without the knowledge or consent of car owners. Apparently, when this data is gathered by Chinese manufacturers, it's a bridge too far. The Biden administration says it will take action to address potential risks associated with data collection by Chinese companies on U.S. drivers and infrastructure. The administration has also expressed concerns about the possibility of foreign manipulation of internet-connected vehicles and navigation systems. The proposed regulation would prohibit the import and sale of vehicles from China that contain key communications or automated driving system software or hardware. This ban is expected to apply to all vehicles on U.S. roads, with exceptions for agriculture and mining vehicles. The Commerce Department plans to allow a 30-day public comment period before finalizing the rules. The proposed timeline suggests that software prohibitions could take effect for the 2027 model year, while hardware bans would be implemented in January 2029 or the 2030 model year. This proposal represents a significant escalation in the United States' restrictions on Chinese vehicles, software, and components, and it follows recent moves by the Biden administration to increase tariffs on Chinese imports, including a 100% duty on electric vehicles. The automotive industry, represented by major automakers, has cautioned that changing hardware and software in vehicles is a complex process that requires extensive engineering and testing. As this situation develops, it will likely have far-reaching implications for the global automotive industry, international trade relations, and the future of connected and autonomous vehicle technology. And finally, in the wake of the iPhone 16 launch, India's Computer Emergency Response Team, CERT-IN, has issued a high-severity alert for users of Apple's iOS, iPad OS, and macOS devices. The warning comes as multiple vulnerabilities have been reported across various Apple products, potentially exposing users to significant security risks. The vulnerabilities could allow attackers to access sensitive user information, execute arbitrary code, bypass security restrictions, and perform various malicious actions. The alerts affect a wide range of Apple software versions. The full list is in the show notes. CertIn emphasizes that Apple has addressed these vulnerabilities in its latest software updates. So the agency strongly urges all users of affected devices to update their software immediately to the latest versions provided by Apple to ensure their security. So 2 warnings. One is specific. There have been reports that macOS Sequoia updates have had issues that have resulted in conflicts with security software running on the Mac. Second, when these issues occur, they are often exploited by hackers to get you to respond to an email, click on a link, or do something unsafe. Make sure you're relying only on absolutely trusted sources. And when you get an email, go to the Apple website and search for the information there. Given the reported severity of the bugs, I would have expected something to be posted on Apple's site, even if it was just in the press area. So far, we haven't found anything useful. We will post more information that we have on this as the story unfolds. Those who are particularly interested in security may want to check out our sister podcast, Cybersecurity Today. You can find it anywhere you get podcasts or with the show notes at technewsday.ca. That's our show for today. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a terrific Tuesday.